What up, everybody? My name is Nick, joined once again by my co-host Matt. Rough. We're here
Why are we here? What?
because I
The
put
people watching right now, I know you don't
17
want to see
people.
both of our faces. The first thing
17
you see
people,
is
a
me.
bunch of psychopaths, and stay up till 12. First of all, go dogs. You know what I'm saying? Go dogs.
Oh my
We made
god!
it. um. Oh my god! Holy fuck! All right, I'm going first because I woke up to this. So this is what I woke up to. I did some research last night with some analysis, very in depth. First of all, I have Justin Jefferson over 100 yards receiving. I did a unit on that. What I wrote is very in depth analysis. Here we go. Uh, Cornerback talking shit to Justin Jefferson. Justin going to smoke his ass. That was 2 sentences. And then I will be taking Washington -1.5 because I already did. And I says in my analysis, you're a Washington fan, stupid. So that's me. That's what I wrote. Those are the 2 plays I'm taking. I don't know. Don't bet while you're watching the Georgia game.
Well, I will say
Oh
I stayed up till 3:30
Why?
crunching some numbers,
Yeah.
and this is what I got for you,
Yeah.
guys. We got a beautiful kicker prop. I know people have said it in the chat. Where are they at?
Yo, fuck you, Princess Steph, or whatever her fucking name is. Washington.
I wish I had 2 kicker props for you. I might give you a lean, but besides the point, we're going to go with Mason Crosby over 1.5 field goals. And this is the reason why we've cashed this kicker prop versus the Vikings in 2 or 3 straight weeks. They've allowed 2+ attempts in 11 of the last 12 weeks. So all we have to do is hope for Mason Crosby to come through for us. We know this Viking defense gives up a ton of yards. It's actually absurd how many yards they give up. All we need is a few stops. This Packers offense looks rejuvenated. I have a lot of Vikings futures on the division that are cashing, but this game means basically nothing for the Vikings. They're gonna. I mean, it does for the 2 or 3 seed that they're gonna probably get between the 49ers. But at the end of the day, it's a tough game in Green Bay. They're gonna play. They're gonna want to win. But this defense, doesn't matter if they try or not. They're not good. They give up a ton of passing yards, and when you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, he's going to find ways to move the ball downfield. 2-minute drill. I like having guys like this on my side where, it's the time is with us as well in the last 2 minutes of the first half or the end of the game if necessary. So I love Mason Crosby over 1.5 field goals. Again, it's the matchup, and it's just we're just going to keep riding the train until it kind of just stops. But it's not.
I mean, I guess if you want all that analysis and everything, that's fine. That's cool. Good play.
My second play is not a kicker prop. It's Jerick McKinnon over 30.5. Sorry, guys. Typo this morning.
Oh, wow. Trying to cheat the community up.
Jerick McKinnon over 30.5 receiving yards. It's on PointsBet. I believe FanDuel has like 33. I'd take this up to 35, honestly. I think he can get 50. If we're being honest, he's really shown to be one of Mahomes' favorite targets these last couple weeks, especially as the receiving back. One thing that does intrigue me is Isaiah Pacheco over 8.5 just because of the matchup, but he's cashed that in 5 straight weeks, which is every week since Clyde Edwards-Helaire got hurt. But 3 of those weeks were off 1 catch. So if you think he has 1 catch for more than 9 yards, be my guess and take Pacheco. I think they both can hit. But McKinnon, he had 112 receiving yards as a running back 3 weeks ago versus the Broncos. 7 catches on 9 targets. He had 8 catches on 8 targets the week after that versus the Texans for 70 yards. And then 3 catches for 3 targets against the Seahawks for 31 yards. So last 3 weeks, he's gotten that number. He's also scored a touchdown in the last 4 weeks. So he's really just being used really well in this receiving role. And if you look at receiving yards given to running backs, the Broncos are a number 10 team. But if you look at the last 4 weeks, they're number 2. A lot of that has to deal with the McKinnon. But remember how this Broncos Chiefs game was the last time they played, where the Chiefs came out up early, like 20-0 or 20-3. Russell Wilson somehow clawed his way back, and it was kind of a little shootout a little bit. I don't think it's going to be that type of game, but with the Broncos just firing their coach, usually teams rally behind it. 12.5 point spread. I still think the Chiefs roll, but I think it could be close a little early. Maybe not. I'll eat my words, but either way, even in a blowout, I think McKinnon gets his receiving yards done. So that's my spot for today. It's going to be Kelsey and McKinnon all over the place. So if you want to do both those in SGP and take, I don't know, McKinnon alternate under and Kelsey alternate under, that's what I would go for. But stick to Mahomes and throw him the ball, and you got yourself a chance and a good spot to be in any Sunday.
Yeah. Great job. Next up, let's do it. Let's do it. Next up
is
hell yeah. Woo!
Is a guy I didn't even have this when I sat down. It was in my leans, but this morning I kind of talked myself into betting him. It's Christian McCaffrey over 31.5 receiving yards. Again, if you look at the NFL standings, like we talked about with the Packers game and the Vikings game and the 49ers game, both these teams probably aren't catching the Eagles at 13-2, but they could with the Hurts injury. But the Niners are 11-4, Vikings 12-3. If the Vikings lose and the Niners win, they're now tied to get that number 2 spot. And the number 2 spot will play the last team sneaking in to the playoffs in the wild card spot. So it has some sort of importance. So I'm going to ride Christian McCaffrey over receiving yards. Ever since Brock Purdy kind of came to the mix, obviously he hasn't thrown the deep ball as much. But the 49ers really don't do that in the first place. Garoppolo is still kind of a system check down guy, and that's really what Purdy is, because the 49ers are basically a system team. If you look at the receiving yards for McCaffrey, take away last week, which he had 12, which was against one of the worst receiving yards to running backs matchups that he could possibly have. He had 30 versus the Seahawks, 34 versus the Bucks, 80 versus the Dolphins, 67 versus the Cardinals, 39 Chargers, 55 Rams. So he's been proven to get this, and his targets are through the roof. A lot of games with 6+ targets, and then that's what you want to see. And in this matchup, I'm going to take this every single freaking day of the week, because guess what? Guess what, Nick?
What?
The Raiders give up the most receiving yards to running backs. So that's what we're going to bet.
What a matchup.
We're going to bet. It's a great matchup. He's
Fantastic.
a workhorse. We're going to slam this.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. All right, so those are your 3 plays. I said my 2 plays. Let's go back over one more time. Let's get the fuck out of here. Respect.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Again, I woke up to these plays. I don't remember studying for them. I don't remember doing anything. Go Dogs. I said Justin Jefferson over 100 receiving yards. Cornerback talking shit. Gonna smoke him again. All right. And then Washington, because you're a Washington fan, stupid. That was my analysis. That's what I wrote last night, and I already placed the bets. I'm fucked. You don't have to be fucked. So just take Matt's plays. Christian McCaffrey over 31.5 receiving yards. Jared McKinnon over 30.5 receiving yards. And then Mason Crosby over 1.5 field goals. Sounds like 3 great plays like there with some great analysis behind it. Guys.
Are we going to come up with the New Year's parlay? Nah.
What?
Are we going to come up with a New Year's parlay?
Oh, dude, not today. Are you kidding me? You're out of your mind. I'm going back to sleep. And I'm going to hope, I just hope I wake up to wins, which I'm not.
I just want you to know the Giants are making the playoffs and the Commanders are not. And
I don't have any trust in the Commanders at all. I never really do. They always like to do this thing where they lose their first 6 games, and then they make a run mid-season just to bring you in, just to be like, "Oh, come on in, we want you. We're good." Dan's changed. No, fuck no. Everything's a mess. The whole team's a mess. That's the problem too. We're never going to get a good enough draft pick because we always do these little runs where we barely make the playoffs. Not going to do anything in the playoffs. We're not going to do anything. We just get a worse draft pick.
Not with that attitude, you're not.
Well, sell the team. I'll get a better attitude. Guys, it's been great. 10 minutes, 50 seconds. Bet responsibly. We'll see you tomorrow. Me and Austin will be on tomorrow. Maybe Matt. Matt, you coming on tomorrow?
We'll see. We'll see how Mason, Jarek, and Christian do, and then we'll see.
Guys, bet responsibly. We will see you tomorrow.